My bottle is competing in the water bottle Olympics versus Gatorade and Yeti, going head to head in 3 different events to determine which bottle is best. And if my water bottle wins, it's officially ready to be launched into the world. But if it loses, it clearly wasn't a good idea and I'll never be able to launch the product. Which would mean the past 3.5 years of building and designing this water bottle by myself in different bedrooms and basements were all for nothing. 3.5 years of turning this idea into a reality hinges on the outcome of this video, so wish me luck. Event 1 is the splash and dash. The first bottle to go from sitting on the table to pouring 4 ounces of water and go back to being closed is the winner. First up is Yeti. So why this amount of water? Well, it's actually quite scientific because I have decreed that roughly 4 ounces or 2 medium-sized gulps of water is the optimal athletic sip size. More on why that's important to me a little bit later. But next up is Gatorade. An absolutely dominant performance by Gatorade. And there's a reason I designed the event this way. Well, how fast a water bottle can pour water is the thing. What really matters is how fast a water bottle can deliver hydration to you, which is why these Gatorade bottles are the gold standard for athletics. And as a former college athlete, I can confirm that nearly every single one of my teammates used the Gatorade bottle. But I actually opted to use this exact Yeti with this exact chug lid. It's a little sentimental for me, actually. Swimming was such a big part of my life for so long, and so was this bottle. But I used the Yeti because for me personally, the ice was more important than the speed. But I wanted to make a bottle that was the best of both worlds. Points will be awarded to each bottle based on place after each event, which means I only have 2 events left to come back and win, or I have to accept that my product just doesn't deserve to exist. Event 2 is Biohazard, and it will be separated into 2 events, starting with Mr. Soapy. Now every water bottle has the ability to grow mold or bacteria if you don't keep it clean. So how easy is each bottle to clean? Yeti goes first. I'll have 30 seconds to clean each bottle, and based purely on my objective experience, I'll award points based on how easy they are to clean, being the unbiased judge that I am. Welcome to the Yeti post-game interview, and there's not too much to say. Just 2 parts to their lid, no small spaces, meaning I'd give this an official 9 out of 10 on the cleaning scale. Gatorade is up next. Gatorade post-clean interview, and it only has 1 part to its lid, but there were some small spaces in that lid. And I can guarantee you that absolutely nobody is cleaning it other than, splashing some soapy water in there. So with that small complication, I would give this a final 7 out of 10 on the cleaning scale. Now, how the hell do you clean this thing? And why is it red all of a sudden? Basically, this is the new and improved version, but it has a 3D printed bottle. The yellow's bottle is metal, which was needed for events 1 and 3, but the red bottle has had major renovations done, especially to the cleanability. There's a whole story there, but I'll be brief. Now you gotta remember, when I first started designing this thing, I was basically a college kid. Yes, I was an athlete, but sometimes my living room literally looked like this on my way to practice. For me personally, cleanliness was not a top of mind issue. But after thousands of comments from all of you, family members getting sick due to mold issues, my mom yelling at me, and perhaps a slight maturing in my personality, all those factors forced me to address that issue. As you can see, in the old yellow version, the water flows through the mechanism, creating lots of wet, small spaces perfect for mold and bacteria to form, while being hard to clean. But after lots of late nights designing, redesigning again, I came up with a pretty good solution. The mechanism now rests around the outside of the bottle with the water flowing straight through it without getting it wet. And in addition to eliminating all those wet, small spaces, it easily separates into 2 parts, making for easy cleaning. And given all those improvements, including making 2 easily removable parts, removing the mechanism from any area that it would touch moisture, and reducing the overall part count, I would give this bottle an objective 5 out of 10 on the cleaning score. It's still not the easiest bottle to clean, but it's not too bad. So I recently came across a discovery that roughly 97% of you have microplastics in your brains and your testicles. Now I say 97% instead of 100% because 3% of you are females, at least according to my YouTube statistics. But in totally unrelated news, I am single. And look, for me personally, the plastic tasting Gatorade water was always a no-go for me. But there was clearly something else going on, which is why the second half of this event is called, How Much Plastic Am I Drinking? And is that bad? If you were to drink 1 liter of water from each bottle, how many nanoplastic particles would you be consuming? And I say nanoplastic because those are more dangerous than microplastics. They're so tiny that they pass right through your digestive tract and begin to build up in different organs around your body, likely permanently. Yeti is going first. That's equivalent to 100 nanoparticles, which might sound like a scary number until you consider Gatorade's number. Literally over 200,000 nanoplastic particles. All of the bending and flexing that makes the Gatorade bottle so great also creates the perfect conditions for nanoplastic shedding within the water bottle. But how does my red bottle compare? Well, it'd be about 100. Because if the product officially launches, it'll be made from the same exact materials that the Yeti is made from. That's a stainless steel water bottle and a professionally injection molded plastic cap. But unfortunately, today, the bottle that I'm testing is entirely 3D printed. In terms of health concerns, we don't really know. But I can't imagine plastic buildup in all of my organs is a good thing. But more importantly, my water bottle just lost the biohazard event, which would mean I would need to win the next one just for the chance to force a tiebreaker 4th event. Event 3 is the Frosty Fridge. I convinced 10 ice cubes to get into each water bottle, and whichever water bottle pours more ice and less water into the measuring cup wins, after 24 hours. Okay, so I had 0 faith in the Gatorade, so I'm making him go first. Let's see how he did. But of course, this challenge is all about the Yeti. Its entire brand identity is about building strong and cold products. And the ice, for me personally, is the main reason why I chose to use this during my swimming career over the speed of the Gatorade squeezy bottle. But let's see how it did. Of course, an absolutely expected but dominant performance by Yeti. Could my bottle really win, especially considering I 3D printed this in my cupboard under the stairs? And I mean, look, as cool as my Harry Potter closet workshop is, plastic that prints 1 layer at a time is not the best material for insulation. And the Yeti screws concretely onto the top, whereas mine clicks open. Mine's better for speed, but Yeti, I would think, has the advantage with insulation sealing here. However, I did have science on my side. Do you ever wonder why these jackets keep you so warm? It's insulation, obviously, but it has to do with a particular type of insulation. Specifically, creating pockets of insulation. I've prepared this very scientific diagram showing how my body creates warm pockets of insulation within the jacket, almost like a multi-layer defense system, which makes me extra protected from the cold outside air, even more than a single larger layer would. And oh, what's this? Looks like my water bottle lid's mechanism has some built-in insulation pockets. But enough science, I'm not a doctor. There's only one way to find out if my bottle can win and force tiebreaker event number 4. All tied up. Looks like it all comes down to this. So what does this all even mean? Is it a good bottle? A bad one? Well, the judge of Challenge 4 is going to have to decide that. I will admit, though, the judge is biased. For me personally, and no, I'm not talking about myself, I'm talking about you. For you personally, what matters? Maybe you value ice, water, speed, price, a big handle, color, coolness, whatever. There are hundreds of water bottles purchased by billions of people for any and every reason imaginable. Now, for me personally, while I'm not a swimmer anymore, I am still an athlete. What's important to me in a water bottle is speed and ice, and also a growing concern for all the plastic building up in my body. But I also need a water bottle that I can open with boxing gloves on. For me personally, it is the perfect water bottle. But of course, what matters to you is a lot more important than what matters to me. But if you do want a water bottle and you would support a Kickstarter campaign, my email list link is in the description or the comments below, and it's coming soon. Thanks so much for your support, and thanks so much for watching.